Hi guys, it's Minx here. I want to thank my gamer supporter, 4ice, for bringing this video. Thank you very much, 4ice, for another month's support and being super duper awesome and nom. If you guys enjoy the content here, please consider pledging on GameWisp. It really helps out an absolute shit ton. Thank you very much if you do. Link in the description, lots of rewards on offer, so please check it out. Anyway, let's get into the video, shall we?
Hi guys, it's two lesbians playing, and we're your mums, and we're gonna play Blackberry Honey.
This is Blackberry. I think that's meant to be an and, the wiggly bit in the middle on its side, maybe. Blackberry and Honey, and this is a story.
That just looks like Blackberry Honey.
Don't worry about it.
Blackberry Honey.
Blackberry Honey, that's what it's called then. Oh, you're right. Never mind. Anyway, this is Blackberry Honey.
That's an ampersand, just like, you know, not correctly put there is fine. Even though the exact same symbol is on the B, so it's not an ampersand.
Shut up! Shut up! Okay, listen. In Victorian times, lesbianation was a pretty hot thing to do because it was fully legal because Queen Victoria was like, there's no such thing as lesbians. There's no point in banning lesbians because they don't exist and all girls want the D. This is living proof. This is historical evidence, everyone, that that wasn't true. As we're going to play Blackberry Honey, which is about two maids working in Victorian times who fall madly in love with each other in
I don't know if
weird sort of like
madly in love.
No, it does become that eventually. It's kind of like a weird sort. Never mind. I'm not going to go into details anyway. We're gonna watch fucking do some scenes. All right. Let's enjoy. Right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. So
I know they didn't have proper bras. But Jesus Christ.
I know those boobs are so... They're just out of control. They're out of control. It's crazy. So just...
Why are you hoisting them up? Like, I do that sometimes. You know, sometimes your boobs are just too heavy and you need to hoist them up for a minute.
She does that all the time.
Give your back a thing. But Jesus Christ, you don't just do that out in public. You don't just go like, yes, I'm going to talk to you while holding my boobs up like this. You can't see me, but I'm doing it right now.
She is doing it right now. It's pretty numb. Anyway, so just to set the scene, the girl on the right is the girl who's just arrived to work here. She's working as like a governess to the rich people's children. And the girl on the left, she's just met for the first time, and she's working as the parlor maid here, okay? We don't even know her name at this point, but Laurie is the girl on the right. And for some reason, the parlor maid knows her name, which she thinks is a bit weird. So let's continue the initial
Stranger
meeting.
danger! Stranger danger!
All right.
Stranger danger!
Who would you like to be? Would you like to be the parlor maid or Laurie? Stop giggling.
Which one do you think I should be?
You should be you should be Laurie.
Okay.
That's right, Laurie.
Nobody calls me that.
I just did.
I wish you wouldn't.
We can't all have what we want.
I like the eyes. They're really cute.
This game has a big budget. Like, it's got a proper game.
I mean, I'm angry at her arm and her boobs, but the little flecks of color in the eyes are actually very cute.
The artwork's really nice.
I'm aware of that. Thank you very much.
Lorena frowned. So the parlor maid knew her name, even though she insisted on using a silly nickname for whatever reason. But Lorena didn't know hers. Maybe she should have done, considering she'd been at Bly for 4 months. But the parlor maid's name was strange and foreign. It was difficult to get her tongue around.
Well, then you know her name.
Why should we need to know her name anyway? They weren't friends. Lorena wanted nothing to do with this insufferable woman. But all the same.
Oh, what?
She's pretty forward, the parlor maid.
Wait, what's happening?
I think she's... we'll find out.
Okay, that's one thing I don't like that is a common trend in especially hentai visual novel type stuff with female characters is they look at you instead of each other.
That actually was one of the top comments on the reviews for this game, was the fact the characters look at the viewer rather than each other frequently.
But I don't like that because it just makes it confusing as to what's happening. Like, I assume they're supposed to be interacting with each other, but it just looks like we walked in on them, like, just knocking into each other. Like, they heard the door open, it opened, and then they ended up accidentally walked into each other because they were like, oh, what's that? Oh, wait. Oh, ow. It's just like, it brings me out of the story. And I know why they do that, because it's like a sort of a fetishy thing. Like, especially for, I'm going to say it, especially for guys playing this stuff. They're like, oh yeah, they're looking at me, even though they're supposed to be lesbians. Which I don't like. I don't like when games do that. Don't do that. Have them look at each other. Have them interact with each other. For fuck's sake! Anyway, the art is good, though.
You're Lorena. Off you go.
Ah! What are you doing?
Taking care of you like I said I would.
But why?
Because I don't believe you can take care of yourself.
That's quite an assumption to make, and not a very polite one either.
Why should I worry about being polite? I'm polite enough to Lady Leonard, though I don't think she deserves
Like,
it.
seriously, why are you staring at me?
One gets awfully tired of minding their manners all the time. You agree with me, don't you?
That's besides the point. Stop staring at us! You aren't supposed to be talking to each other!
So you do agree. How lovely. Now hold still.
Nyeh.
The parlourmaid's hands were smooth and soft and her fingers were slender. They were the hands of an artisan. Nora's hands were holding Lorena's. Lorena felt herself shivering, and not just because of the pain. Her right hand was still bleeding though. She's cut herself, by the way. The bloodshed was slow and lackadaisical. It was almost, that's a weird word to use. It was almost relaxing.
It's not relaxing to bleed!
Now what is this? The parlourmaid's lips were inches from the shell of Lorena's ear. Her breath tickled. Is this a thorn? Lorena nodded dumbly. How did you do this to yourself? Did you fall into a rose bush?
It wasn't intentional.
Why would it be intentional? Then you were pushed.
You could say that, I suppose.
Was this one of Lady Constance's whims? That's the little brat that they're looking after.
Yes, she wanted me to pick some roses for her, but I...
Got hurt in the process?
Evidently.
The parlourmaid clicked her tongue against the roof of her mouth. Lady Constance doesn't care for flowers, you know. She's an exceedingly careless girl.
I'm aware of that.
Then why did you go along with her selfish request? She was only trying to make you miserable, and it seems she was successful. Look, what has happened to you? What you let happen.
I beg your pardon?
You heard what I said.
I did, but you couldn't have meant it.
Why not?
I didn't let this happen. I didn't want to cut myself.
You just what? Lorena opened and closed her mouth, but no words came out. When she needed them the most, they abandoned her. This is going to be a recurring theme. As you can probably tell, the girl on the right has a slightly overbearing presence, and Lorena is about as steadfast as a wet blanket. A wet piece of paper would have more resistance than Lorena does.
I really hate that they keep staring at us.
We're going to move scenes. Okay, so Lorena has just been embarrassed again, I believe, by the irritating little girl. So, thoroughly humiliated, Lorena stalked down the hallways of Bly with a face like thunder. Why was Lady Constance so unreasonable, expecting her to be fluent in French of all things, and then using Lorena's incompetence as an excuse to escape? It begged belief. How could one little girl be so shameless? Phew.
If you were my younger sister, I'd spank you in a second. That's what you deserve, you charlatan?
Mm-hmm. Her feet thumped across the carpet hard. By this point, she'd worked herself up into such a state she completely failed to notice the presence of another person. Oh.
Ah!
Until it was too late. Lorena stumbled, her eyes wide, her fingers slackening. She dropped the broom to the floor where it struck the wall with a dull thud before gravity pulled it back down to earth. It rolled several times before bumping against the side of Lorena's foot, where it came to a standstill. Lorena had come to a standstill too. It was impossible for her to move, even if she had wanted to. Thanks to her thoughts, which seemed to trip her up. Quite literally this time, she managed to run right into the one person she did not want to run into.
Are you fucking serious?
At least they're looking at each other this time.
Yes. That is a marked
by the
improvement.
way, her name is Tauha, a name that I would suspect nobody in Victorian times would have had, if I'm honest with you, regardless of where you came from.
Yeah.
Hello, Laurie. That was quite the greeting you gave me. Lorena blinked at the old woman with wide eyes. Her eyes were so wide, in fact, it looked like her irises had been swallowed up by her whites.
Not really. I mean, that's the exact opposite of what I'm seeing right
This
here.
is so predatory, this scene. Her cheeks, meanwhile, were slowly starting to turn pink. Why, of all the embarrassing things? Are you alright? You do look rather flustered.
Tired
Tired too? Have you not been getting enough sleep?
I get more than enough sleep.
Well, that's good. One must look after their health. It wouldn't reflect well on Lady Leonard if one of her precious maids collapsed from fatigue. She's just a stumbling mess. Lorena tried to soothe the stammering of her heart, but that was hard when she didn't know why it was stammering to begin with. And her mother had thought she'd become friends with whatever her name is, or Tilly, as she'd been termed. If Lorena's mother ever met the woman, Lorena was sure she would change her mind in a heartbeat. It was the only proper thing to do. Lorena inhaled and took a step backwards, then 2, then 3. 3 steps seems like a sensible distance to her. It wasn't so very far she would look foolish trying to continue the conversation, but not so close. Presence could unsettle her.
Baby! I want to talk to you about something, actually.
You do?
About what happened a couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Did something occur between the pair of us? Taha blinked, one finger against her lower lip. She was quite the convincing actress. She could give Emily Soldy a run for I have no idea who that is.
No idea.
That Lorena had ever seen... Not that Lorena had ever seen Emily Soldy perform. She'd never been to London before in her life.
You know something did! Surely you remember what you said to me.
Not everything, my memory isn't that good, and this was a while ago.
Well, you should know how you made me feel, at least.
Silly Laurie, how could I possibly know how you feel? You didn't tell me. And contrary to popular belief, I cannot read minds.
You should have been able to assume.
She's pissed at their first interaction, how patronising she was. I'm going to jump ahead again. As you can see, interesting power dynamic I feel here.
What interesting. One's a creeper, and
And one's like just useless at dealing with the situation.
so like every freaking
Yuri
thing
ever.
ever.
So again, this is another interaction between the two of them.
No shit.
Something you want to show me? She nodded. And what would that be?
My tits!
So by this point, Lorena's resolve has slowly caved in as she's helped to deal with the irritating fucking kid for the last like week of the game. Like this game is long, by the way. I reckon like 9 or 10 hours of gameplay.
Oh god, her hand is bothering me. It looks like a freaking claw.
Don't worry. Just read the line, Bubba.
I just realized, I never properly thanked you for helping. What help? What
Like I just said, she's like...
And I don't want to be indebted to you. So...
So...
Here.
And with that...
What? What?
Look, they've been in the simmering sexual tension for a while.
She's still looking at the freaking viewer.
She is. She's like, excuse me?
No, she's just like, yeah, you like this? I don't really like this, but do you?
Lorena pressed her lips firmly against Toha's. The smell of orange peel grew even stronger, almost intoxicating.
What orange peel?
As like a perfume. Lorena's head swam. Toha's lips were really soft. Lorena's fingers entwined with Toha. The palms of their hands pressed flush together. Lorena could feel her chest. I bet she fucking could. Her chest is bigger than the fucking sun.
Look at her! Look at the mound!
Yeah, I know. They were so close. There wasn't a single inch of space between them.
That is technically what happens, when you kiss.
That's true, yeah.
You kind of had to get pretty close to each other.
The taste of Toha's saliva.
Ew!
The warmth of her body. The smell of her skin. It was more intoxicating than Lorena could ever imagine.
Have you ever, savored someone's saliva? I don't think I have.
Maybe with some of the first times I kissed.
I don't remember ever. When you're kissing someone, it's different than if you're just reading about it.
So, yeah, basically anyway, Lorena just caves in here, throughout I played quite a big chunk of this. Throughout the novel to this point, Toha is just, sexually, undertoning everything they do. And at that point, Lorena's just oh my god, the thirst. And she just caves in. Just fucking caves in. Anyway, they're gonna go on a nice romantic date in the countryside. Let's see what happens.
And then get shot.
No, don't worry about that.
See, she's getting shot.
No,
she's screaming.
She's falling.
She's screaming. She's falling because she got shot.
There's no guns, buddy.
Pew pew.
I want a convincing kia from you, please.
Oh shit! I got shot.
With a loud scream that made the nearby crow scatter, Lorena was thrown off her balance
Because she got shot.
and toppled over backwards into the running river. Watch this, okay? We just saw what she was wearing, right?
Uh-huh. Where did her clothes go? Oh wait, no, she's in a bath.
Yeah, she is. Isn't that a weird transition, though?
Why did you just immediately shove her in a bath?
You really don't need to do this. Sorry, that's you. Let's read that again.
Why am I suddenly in a bathtub? I don't understand this.
I know, but I'm the one who pushed you. I'm taking responsibility.
This is freaking just for your own sexual pleasure, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I've decided to take responsibility nevertheless because I'm an exceedingly kind person.
Bullshit!
Lorena, what? I'm shocked and appalled at you. Are you doubting my sincerity?
Bullshit!
She's like so like the manipulative older anime trope chick that's in every anime ever. Lorena glanced down at her knees. There were two pale islands that jutted out from the surface of the water. She shifted her back, pressed against the cool tin tub. The water about her rippled. Droplets of moisture dripped down her neck. Her fringe stuck against her forehead. Damp and moist and underwhelmingly lukewarm. Like, they spent a lot of time writing this, by the way. Like, a shit ton.
I mean, the freaking stare... Wait a second. Is that her butt?
Yeah, that is her butt, yeah. It's quite an awkward position. That tub is like a sink, essentially, as far as I can tell.
That just looks like two separate pairs of legs just over her. What the fuck is her butt doing there? You don't need to show every... we have object permanence. I know that a butt exists without you showing it to me.
But you got to sell them hentai views, you know what I mean? This was Blackberry Honey, not Blackberry and Honey. Blackberry ampersand Honey.
It's Blackberry Honey.
Thank you very much for watching.
It's literally just because of the hair colors of the two main characters. Black and honey-toned.
I really liked this, by the way. In terms of like a good Yuri visual novel, there's not that many, and this one's pretty good, and I highly recommend it. And you've seen a little bit of the iceberg of content there. Anyway, what can they do if they enjoyed the video, baby?
I don't know why you tell me. Please, for me, just once. My poor voice. There's nothing wrong. Don't freaking drink water, sadly. Making me talk when I've got a sore throat. Bullshit, you have a sore throat. You can like the video, leave a comment, suggest some more games to us. You can support us on GameWist, gamewist.com/minx. And you could buy some merch if you want. And we stream on twitch.tv/quickshow at least 5 times a week. So you should follow us there.
That's it.